gas leak inside a combi boiler. This is one of the reasons why we bang on about saying that you need to have your boiler serviced every year, because when you have a boiler serviced, they do things like check the seals inside. So this boiler, this is a Baxi Platinum boiler, and in my opinion this is one of the most reliable boilers that you could install. I've installed lots and lots of these boilers, but on this, we've come out to this service today and we can see the seal has gone inside. So what that would be doing is there's a gas would be coming into the combustion case here on this. So obviously that is very, very dangerous. There's lots of other things as well we do when we're doing a boiler service. So we do all the safety checks on the boiler. We'll also clean the boiler out if required, so they don't get like this. This one a Vokera, this ended up needing a new heat exchanger because it had not been serviced correctly. Also, we'll do things like we'll pump the expansion vessel up, and we'll change Schrader valves and check Schrader valves if they need checking in boiler. And if we have a look at this job here, we can see that we've got water is running down the outside wall from the blow off. Now again, this could be lack of servicing. It could be that the expansion vessel's not being pumped up on a service. It could be that the expansion vessel's faulty. So if we service these boilers and maintain them correctly, then the boilers will last longer and have less issues. We'd also clean things out, like condensate traps are actually called to this boiler because it stopped working. And if you can see on the condensate trap, it's actually blocked. So it's no longer letting the water go away. So it definitely needed servicing. The boiler's actually in a bad way as well because the burner seal's gone on it. But I'll show you that more shortly. But that's the condensate trap. You see how much muck is in there. This is a really old Worcester, one of the early Worcesters with square trap, and they need maintaining. They need servicing. It's not a very good install, this one, to be honest. But again, still needs servicing. If you service them, they'll last longer. Just have a look at the burner seal on this. Just turn the light off. You see there, you can see the gas, you can see it's leaking. And the burner seal's failed on this. And again, this is down to lack of maintenance. You know, we can blame boiler manufacturers to a certain extent for certain things. But when a boiler's not been serviced for like 12 years or even longer, then you can't blame boiler manufacturer for that. You know, these should be serviced, in my opinion. You should service gas appliances every year to make sure that they're safe. And you can see on this one, it's actually started to scorch the case. So definitely needed servicing, did this one. And this is what happens with the seals on the heat exchanger when they're left for too long. And what we do on a service, we'd be checking to make sure that the boiler is safe. So any problems like this, we can change the seals. Obviously that would be a chargeable thing to do, but it's like with a car, you know, you get it serviced. And then we check basic things just like the fuse. So on this one, it's got a 13 amp fuse. This particular boiler, it should have a 3 amp fuse. And this boiler, this is an Ideal Vogue combi boiler, which in my opinion, again, is a really good boiler. This one, when you look on boiler here, you can see it's stained, it's got some damage here. So this has got an issue with the boiler. And when we have a look inside, we can see that it's got stains inside. So we can clearly see there's an issue. So by coming here and servicing it, we've probably saved this boiler from having to have a new boiler. And then when we look here, we can see there's heat marks on the burner, where the burner door touches. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but there's actually scorch marks here. So we know on this one, it needs the burner seal changing. And then we check stuff like flue seals as well, just to make sure they're not leaking, obviously because we've got some stains down there. So we'd want to make sure, because all these things will make the boiler last for longer. And another thing to point out, if there were an issue, this boiler would be under warranty if it had been serviced. You can see on this one where it's stained. So this one would have definitely needed a new burner seal. But when we look at the burner on this, we can see that the actual burner, the internal seal on the burner, is also discoloured, damaged. So on this particular one, this needs to go back to Ideal, and Ideal need to come out and need to do that, and they'll do that under warranty. They'll put a new burner door on this one. But if this boiler hadn't have been serviced, then it could have been very different. It could have melted the case on the boiler, and it could have made the boiler so the boiler was unrepairable or beyond economical repair, which would then mean the customer needs a new boiler just because they haven't had the boiler serviced. So it's always really worthwhile having it serviced. So as I say, it's really, really important that you have your boiler serviced, checked and serviced every year. There's lots of things that we do. We do all the safety checks. We'll test it with flue gas analyzer as well. A lot of the things we do will stop the boiler breaking down. But also, if you've got a boiler with a long warranty, it means that your boiler will then be covered under warranty. So if there's any issues at all with the boiler, as long as the installer serviced it correctly, then it'll be covered. If you like this type of video, then please put a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who you think should have the boiler serviced, then please tag them in this video, add the name below. You know, try and get as much awareness as possible in having your boiler serviced. I've done this job for over 30 years now. I don't need no more new customers, so I'm not doing these videos to get more customers. I don't want no more customers, but contact a local gas engineer and have your boiler serviced. Yeah, that's about all I've got to say really. If anybody wants to know anything about my Mixergy cylinder that we're having installed, or I've just had installed, just got to finish it off actually, please put a comment below, ask me about that, and I can do a separate video if you want me to, about the Mixergy cylinder, about an unvented cylinder, about how it works, and about how good it is compared to having a combi. So there's all different types of systems you can have on central heating. That might be useful to do in another video. Maybe I could do a video on why you should have one system over another. Some people say that combi boilers are best. Some people say it's better to have a hot water tank. Again, put your comment below. Let me know what you think to that, and I will do a follow-up video on that actually. Yeah, and I'm babbling on. Thanks for watching, and make sure you have your boiler serviced.